Hey everyone. Ford's management team made some interesting announcements on May 2nd that has a lot of people talking about Ford stock. So I went through these announcements and I picked out what I thought were key points that I thought investors interested in Ford stock should know. So I'm going to share them with you in this brief video here. So, starting with Ford CEO James Farley, highlighting the point that they have $29 billion in cash. Now, this should be enough for the company to fund its growth in EVs, and they should continue to be able to support that growth in EVs because their legacy business is generating strong cash flow. Moving on, it's saying Ford Pro, which is its professional segment, extended its leadership in true commercial vehicle categories. Our share of the Class 1 through Class 7 truck and vans in the US increased by one full share point to 41% market share. That's a strong lead in an industry that is attractive to a lot of investors, and I'll tell you why. The professional market is less cyclical than the regular car market, the consumer facing car market. The consumer facing car market goes up and down based on the market. Right now, we are potentially entering a recession in the US. If there is a recession, depending on how steep it is, that could significantly impact car sales. The professional segment, however, would not be as strongly affected by the recession. In other words, it's less correlated to economic recessions and expansions, which investors are attracted to because it's less risky. You have less fluctuations, you have more stable revenue. And they're using electric vehicles, their electric vehicle technology to support their professional segment. In the US, their e-transit has a 50% market share, and in the quarter, they won a contract to deliver more than 9,000 e-transit vans to the Postal Service. So that's big news. And, you know, you think of 9,000, and in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much for a company as large as Ford, but it's a key contract that could expand further, right? 9,000 might be the start, and if the US Postal Service likes the return on that investment, they might expand that to a greater magnitude, or maybe another government institution offers Ford a contract because they see how well it delivered on the contract with the US Postal Service. So it is big news indeed, and it might be a precursor to more announcements like this one for Ford. Additionally, Ford said that its paid subscriptions rose 64% in the quarter, including higher revenue per unit software sales like their telematics and charging software. So that's really good news for its professional segment. Now, moving on to its legacy segment, its consumer facing Ford Blue. This has value. This is where the company accounts for its valuable franchises, including the Ford F-150, the new Maverick, Ford Bronco, and of course the iconic Mustang. Now, these cars, you might say, well, they're, yesterday's cars. Well, they're going to be today's cars for some time now. Electric vehicles still are less than 10% of the overall car market, and it's going to take some time for it to grow to become a greater share of car sales. Meanwhile, legacy cars, ICE cars like the F-150, the Bronco, the Maverick, and the Mustang will continue to make meaningful sales at very nice profit margins. Management saying we just introduced the Bronco less than 3 years ago, and it's already neck and neck in sales with the Jeep Wrangler and at higher transaction prices. So, all of this is really good news for Ford as it invests to transition the company for the future. It's spending billions of dollars on that transition to be sure, but in the meanwhile, its legacy businesses are funding it, providing it with nice cash flow and profitability that it can designate to its growth initiatives. compared to other EV companies or EV exclusive companies that need to fund their expansion and their growth through continued EV sales, which most of them are not yet profitable. So Ford has an advantage in that front, and given these updates, I can see why everyone is talking about Ford stock. But that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I'll see you again soon. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.